Today, we're talking job search strategies, from where to start when decoding job listings to what careers are perfect for applying without a degree.
Basically, everything we wish someone told us before we ever hit apply.
I'm Clint, a career coach and your go-to guy for all things career advice.
And I'm Gina, and hopefully we're going to help some people get their next job. Welcome to Job Search Stories. The big question on a lot of people's minds is, what should you be doing when you're ready to start looking for a job? The most common question, but also the most important question we get is, how do you even start looking for a job? Let's offer some tips by playing a fun little game called Agree or Disagree.
Awesome.
I'm going to read some stuff out to you, and you just let me know if you agree with it or you disagree.
Okay.
Number 1, you should use Indeed as a go-to resource for all things job search related. Agree or disagree?
I would agree. Now, Indeed's not going to be your only tool that you'll use in your overall job search process, but we are the #1 job search site in the world, so it's definitely an important tool to have in your toolkit.
I agree. Not just because I work here. The next one is, you should leverage social media as a tool for building and expanding your professional network. Agree or disagree?
100% agree. We live in a digital world, so if you're not taking advantage of networking on social media, you're missing out on a lot of opportunities to connect with folks that could help you land your next role.
I agree. Slide into those DMs. This one is a hot take from Reddit. In my experience, networking events where the only purpose is networking is useless. They're only attended by people in need. With that in mind, is attending networking events actually a good use of time? Agree or disagree?
I think it is, but you do need to be strategic, right? You have to come in with a plan. You need to work on that elevator pitch, and you need to prepare and do your research.
We have a really good episode featuring Clint where he talks about networking, so we're not going to give too much away. You got to go watch that episode or listen. You've officially started the job search. Maybe you even saved a bunch of jobs you want to apply to. Let's get into how you decode a job description. What's the difference between what a company wants in a candidate and what they're actually looking for? And it might not be listed in the job description.
The job description is a good starting point when we're trying to figure out exactly what the employer is looking for.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be the only place that we look for that, because job listings are written in different ways. It may have a lot of information about the role. It may have very little information about the role. So we need to go beyond that. We need to do our research. We need to research the company, what they're all about, research their mission, their values, look on their website, look at their media, research who's in the company and what they're working on. That's going to give us a more holistic perspective of what this company's about and ultimately what they're going to be looking for in job applicants.
Basically, do your research.
Do your research.
Do your research. Now let's talk about some code words in job listings, because that's also something that people are always asking us about. And I have another Reddit post. This post is titled, "What are some red flags you steer clear of in job descriptions that immediately prevent you from applying?" One Reddit user says, "Self-starter means we won't train you. Can hit the ground running equals we expect you to know how we do things without any training, and you better be good at it." Is this accurate?
When you see these buzzwords, there's definitely cause for concern. What do they actually mean by that? What could they potentially be hiding? I don't think it's a 100% red flag, so I don't want people to just be making an immediate judgment.
Don't apply for that.
Yeah, just be like, oh, no, definitely not the place for me, just based on that. Again, research, back to the research, talk to people in the company, reach out to folks, get those informational interviews, get those blunt perspectives on what it's like to work there, and that's going to give you a better idea.
Wondering how to spot red flags in job postings before you get your hopes up? Find out what to avoid and what to trust. Search Indeed on YouTube. The next question I have is, why are entry-level jobs always saying you need 3 or even 5 years of experience? What does that even mean?
It really just depends on the employer. It could be that they are considering internships or work you did in college to count as experience. So what they're saying is it's an entry-level role, but that 3 to whatever years of experience that you were doing while you were in college. On the other hand, it may be a company that's just trying to get experienced workers for entry-level pay on the other end. So again, it just goes back to the research and really getting a better understanding of their company and what their kind of mindset is around this.
I like that you said college also counts as experience, because
Yes.
some people don't think that. They're always why are they
no.
saying I need to have 3 to 5 years when I haven't had a job yet?
That's experience. That's absolutely.
When a degree feels like the gatekeeper, a thoughtful follow-up message can be your key to getting noticed anyways. So, Clint, What's that line between being too persistent and pestering when you follow up? And how do you know if you've crossed that line?
So, persistence is checking in periodically with the hiring manager just to ask for a status update on the hiring process and to re-stress your interest in the role. That looks like maybe a week or two out from when you apply, just checking in with them, and then maybe a week after that, if you haven't heard anything, just doing a follow-up check-in. On the other hand, pestering is just messaging nonstop. I mean, you don't want to get into stalker mode. That's a surefire way to get the hiring manager to say, absolutely not.
You're going to get ghosted. Yeah.
Because kind of what you're doing is showing a disrespect to the hiring manager's time. And they're not going to want to deal with that.
They're hiring, but don't be too eager. Can a follow-up actually resurrect a dead application?
Well, I don't want to make a follow-up sound like a miracle worker. If your application has been passed over, it's been reviewed, and they've just decided you're not a candidate they want to move forward with, the chances that a follow-up message is going to somehow make them reconsider, that's pretty slim.
Yeah.
And I know that's kind of hard to hear, but that's just kind of the truth of the matter. But where a follow-up could help is if the hiring managers say, is inundated with applications and they hear from you and they think your message is very thoughtful and they decide, okay, let me pull that application from the stack there and give it a look. And so that may give you a little bit more notice, whereas before they may have missed your application amongst all these others. So resurrect from the dead, no, that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
But get it a little bit more noticed. If it hasn't been reviewed yet, yeah, maybe.
Okay, yeah. I love attention. Okay. Have you ever talked to a candidate who may have ruined their chances by following up? And what's the lesson there? What can we teach people about that?
I'd say the only way you could kind of ruin things with a follow-up is if you're doing that pestering. You're just every single day messaging them. Or if the message that you're sending just has a very disrespectful tone to it.
Yeah.
It's overly demanding or aggressive.
Answer me.
Answer me now. That is probably going to get you rejected.
Yeah.
If you just send a thoughtful follow-up, maybe the hiring manager reads it and say, oh, that's nice, and moves on, which, okay, no harm there. But maybe, like we said, maybe they say, okay, let me get this person an extra look here. Maybe this is somebody I want to consider. And if you're respectful, there's really only an upside to this.
Yeah, so just be nice, be kind, and then you might get what you want. You've given people a lot of job search strategies to have in their toolkit, and I hope now you're feeling confident and ready to tackle the job market like a pro. And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching Job Search Stories. If you're looking for more job search advice, please be sure to subscribe to Indeed's YouTube channel. Also, drop a comment or topic you'd like us to cover, or even share your own job search story, and we will make sure to reply. Bye.
Hi, everyone.
Sorry.
So
I'm sorry. Oh my God, your little giggle.